Good morning, Dominique. It's a pleasure to have you with us. First question is, within your company, what are factors that influence the location or relocation of your suppliers?
Good morning, Bernard. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to share the WET HC experience. First, what have been the factors for us to define our supplier portfolio? First, we have a global purchasing network with buyers located everywhere in all continents, and we have operations in wineries in all continents where we are making wines and spirits globally. So we have a network of suppliers that have international footprint for some, and from some others that are locally connected with our purchasing network, but very good and strong suppliers. So our criteria and factors for defining and developing our supplier portfolio have been based on making sure that all good suppliers that we have and good partners with whom we work are working with all units. We are being qualified in all our operations worldwide. This has been the first way for us for getting our sourcing getting international. So we have been developing in the past years the international sourcing, and we have been connecting our operations worldwide to work and source overseas from the best suppliers we identify. That's the first point. Second, we keep on adjusting our purchasing strategy to the new purchasing and new business challenges. And one of them, as you know, as everybody knows, is how can we reduce our carbon footprint and how can we make our overall supply chain more agile. So for that, we initiated another program, which is taking all those suppliers that we have identified worldwide and making and giving them incentives to open operations in the regions where they are not. This would prevent them from sending materials overseas, and this would reduce the lead time and reduce the carbon footprint. And that's a program that we call Global Proximity.
Okay, can you say some words about global proximity, because this is the main initiative for locating your supplier closer or relocating some of your suppliers or helping suppliers to come closer from your own locations? Yes, global proximity, nice words.
This is very much in line with the reshoring initiative that we are discussing today. Global proximity, in fact, it's the next maturity level that we bring to our international sourcing. It has both. It provides both benefits, having the connection with best suppliers in the world and working with the best players wherever their headquarters are, and making sure that we can build proximity close to our operations. That's why we call it global proximity. Few examples. For example, we are buying a lot of packaging material and for our wine and spirits products, and we have been developing the relationship with some of our key and strategic suppliers. For instance, one labels manufacturer who is located in Italy. We have this company has opened a site in Scotland next to our whiskey Glenmorangie operation, and they are now providing and supplying our operations in Edinburgh from a local manufacturing site. We have also created a bridge, and we have developed a very good supplier for rigid boxes, what we call the rigid boxes, the coffret, if you want, a supplier located in Brazil, a very good supplier that have been working with our Brazilian subsidiary for years, and now this supplier has opened a manufacturing site in Champagne, and making sure that we can now provide rigid boxes for our products in Champagne. We have also developed another relationship and global proximity success story. It's a supplier of wire hoods. I don't know if you know what wire hoods means. These are the smaller steel device that you have on all sparkling bottles. And if you want to open that bottle, you have to take this steel device out and then the cork out. So this is very small steel piece that we have in all our sparkling bottles. We have a very good partner with whom we work in Europe, and this partner has opened 3 manufacturing sites, one in Australia, next to our Australian operations, one in Brazil and one in Argentina. Again, this shows some examples of suppliers that are following us in our global proximity strategy and are in agreement to open manufacturing sites close to our operations. There are, of course, very good benefits for that. And I can, if you want, I can share that with you. And the reason why this global proximity program works.
Yeah, thanks very much. I would appreciate if you can share some more elements, because it's quite fascinating.
Yeah, well, very good. If we have time, the question that we are facing, all of us, when we are talking about opening manufacturing sites next to our operations, next to our premises, is well, what's the benefit for the suppliers to do that? I mean, they are investing a lot. We don't participate to the investment. They are investing a lot, and what kind of security they can have for opening a new operation next to a customer, and what benefits they have to do that locally. For us at Moet & Cie, it's a bit different. We are manufacturing wines and spirits, and we are very much linked to what we call the appellation d'origine contrôlée, which means we have been manufacturing champagne in Champagne, and we will continue to do that in Champagne for the years to come. The same for cognac, the same for other brands that we are working on and developing worldwide. So the benefit for the suppliers when they are opening a plant, they know first that they have a good partner, a good customer, Moet & Cie, that they can rely on for a minimum of business, and we are helping them, even if we don't participate in the investment. But also it's one way for them to enter the local market, because there are other sparkling producers, sparkling wines and spirits producers locally based. So it's one way for them to enter this market and conquer new customers. So it's clearly a win-win situation. And in addition to that, the benefit for us, first, we reduce the lead time, we secure the supply chain, we make this relationship between the supplier and us more agile and in proximity. And we have been able to do, by doing that, to reduce our carbon footprint by more than 6,000 tons equivalent CO2 per year. So it has a real benefit in terms of avoiding overseas shipments. It has a real benefit in terms of reducing carbon footprint.
In this global proximity approach, what have been your criteria for selecting the suppliers in this program of global proximity? If you have some criteria.
Yeah, you can't do that with all your suppliers. You have to make sure that you can develop a very strong relationship with some key suppliers. Basically, you have to make sure that you are part of the key customer for your suppliers. The suppliers are willing to follow us because we are a strategic customer for them. So first, our factors for selecting those suppliers is, are we acting as a key customer for them or not? And can we raise the awareness and the importance of Moet & Cie in their customer portfolio? So that's the first thing, is to make sure that in our supplier relationship management program, we have a specific program in place where we have identified some suppliers as being partners for us. We know that those suppliers with whom we are working on global proximity initiatives are those partners, are those suppliers that are willing to develop the business with Moet & Cie far beyond sending materials, providing services, and sending invoices. This is also very much linked to what is the strategic purchasing plan of Moet & Cie and our vision in the future of transforming our suppliers into contributors to business, and partners with whom we can develop the revenues of the company. This is, for me, what I would say, this is one of the key evolution for the next purchasing age for purchasing, is how can us buyers, how can we become contributor to business? How can we become business acumen? We have this chance of living in a world today which is more and more connected, and tomorrow, with the Internet of Things, with all the market connected, you see the suppliers of our suppliers will be directly in contact with the customers of our customers. And this overall setup that we all have been working for the past 50 years, which says in the company you have suppliers and customers, and of course both worlds are completely disconnected, and we even have structured our organization like all other companies with a sales force and a purchasing department. The fact is, with all the market getting connected, you will see more and more interactions between supplier market and customer market. And at the end of the day, on a business standpoint, you will end up with only one external market. And business opportunities are everywhere and should not only be found in the customer markets, they should also be found in the supplier market. And that's why purchasing has a key strategic role to do in the future, because we are the best, us buyers, to know and to understand our supplier markets. And we will be asked tomorrow, all companies will be asked tomorrow the same question: what do you do as a buyer to help impacting revenues? How can you identify growth and sales opportunities on the suppliers market to help generating revenues in the company? For us at Moët+Cie, it means we are producing and selling bottles of wine and spirit. Tomorrow and today already, we have already launched that program that we call supplier activation. Today, we are transforming our suppliers into customers, and that's okay. We are giving them the opportunity to have access to our final finished products at a special discount because they are suppliers. And we also ask them to collaborate with us much beyond the transaction piece of sending products and services, but to have joint initiatives into marketing campaigns, to do marketing campaigns together, to have to exchange information about their knowledge and their market intelligence on their customer market. And this collaboration is going far beyond the traditional buyer-seller collaboration. Global proximity is part of it. It helps it relies on the capacity of a customer and a supplier to work very closely. And if you can reduce the distance, geographical distance, it helps the proximity to be raised. So it goes completely in the sense of our business acumen purchasing vision at Moët+Cie.
Okay, so on one hand, you say global proximity, trying to get your suppliers closer from your business as you have been doing. On the other hand, say, okay, your suppliers can also be your supporting your sales and supporting your business, and you today you're connecting both.
Yes, absolutely.
And
it doesn't mean that buyers should become vendors. Everybody has his own job. What it means that we should, as buyers, we should leverage our supplier relationship and put our suppliers in contact with our sales force. Everybody does his own job in the organization, but at least we are making sure that the business opportunities now are 360 degrees and not only 180 degrees.
Your business is quite specific, and do you think that what you have been implementing in your business, speaking about global proximity, asking your suppliers to support your business, do you think this is also can be implemented in other sectors, in other business, in other industries?
I say yes. I think it's already the case in some companies. Some companies have already been pushing their suppliers to develop and to open manufacturing sites close to their businesses. We saw that in the past without with some successes, but short-term success, because this was mainly in the car industry or the FMCG, whatever. But as long as the customer can ensure that its own operations sites are going to remain in that region, it's a long-term investment that it's worth for the supplier. For sure, everybody will have to go that route. Something new today. The world is changing. The world is changing for different reasons. We have been experiencing in the past 10 years and even more in past 5 years, a very strong awareness of everything which is environment. And on the top of that, the CO2 emission. Today, it's not absolutely the case, but tomorrow, the regulations are going to increase, and more companies will be asked to reduce their carbon footprint. Not only by compensating by planting trees in different places, but effectively to have a program in place to reduce their carbon footprint. Global proximity is one very good way for companies not only to build stronger relationship with local suppliers, but also to reduce the carbon footprint. And there is no way back for that. This overall momentum has started, and there is no way back. So yes, I strongly believe that everybody will be putting a lot of emphasis in their strategic purchasing initiatives in the future for that.
Just to conclude, Dominique, any specific final advice for your peers for 2021? You have been giving a lot of advices during these interviews, discussions. Any final advices?
Well, thank you very much for asking a difficult question. I don't think I have any advice to give to anyone. I am personally basing my own understanding of what needs to be done based on my experience, because I had the chance for having experienced the global purchasing organization in many different industries in my career. I would maybe not really an advice, but a question mark that all CPOs should be asking itself in the future. Having suppliers relocating operations next to your premises, next to your manufacturing sites, beyond all advantages I just mentioned in this interview, it also provides sense to driving business in the future. One thing which is different today, and I'm not talking only about COVID. COVID, we all have been working and going through this COVID crisis and this pandemic crisis. We all have suffered from that, but like all crises, it provides also some opportunities for accelerating changes. We saw how far we can move our collaboration, worldwide collaboration, interaction, team interaction, but from physical meetings into virtual Zoom meetings. And you have been doing exactly the same adaptation by doing this digital event today. This has been accelerated by COVID. I think COVID also has raised awareness, political awareness globally. For the first time, for the past 30 years, for the first time in the world, all nations, the entire human population has been facing the same problem at the same time with the same solution. We have been observing in the past years some growing policies for nationalism, for some political movement that are going in the sense of refocusing on itself, putting barriers, raising import taxes, ignoring global instances like World Trade Organization and so on. All those organizations and global instances have been suffering because of lack of credibility, and this has been getting hurted in the past years. This COVID crisis has clearly reminded everyone that we can, in fact, at the end of the day, we all are facing the same issues. We all are living the same planet, and this planet is becoming very small. And it's more important that we all work together, that we raise and create unity between nations than separations between nations and protectionism. So I think this has a merit, the COVID has a merit of maybe making some barriers, some national barriers going down in the next years. And we saw that with Trump and Biden. We saw that. And I strongly believe that we will continue to see this momentum of going back to a global unity, working better in the long term. So the only question mark I will raise and I will share with the CPOs is we all should think about what's different today because of this global pandemic, because of this global technology which is connecting more and more all markets. We should stop thinking about managing suppliers, and we should start thinking about managing ecosystem. The supplier is just one piece as part of an ecosystem. And if you think that way, then you will have to think the ecosystems everywhere where you have operations. Bringing suppliers close to your operations, to your operation manufacturing units, is thinking in terms of ecosystems, in the local ecosystem. So if you keep that in mind, what our strategies should be focusing on exploring and taking advantage of all opportunities that an ecosystem can bring. It's the same that we should stop looking at the piece and starting and looking at the puzzle itself. So I think if you put ourselves in this mindset, I'm sure we'll see all benefits of these global proximity programs and all benefits of business acumen as well.
Thank you very much, Dominique. We meet us in some minutes for the panel discussion. Thanks a lot for all these wonderful insights and comments. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.